and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's a winter's night, and a winter's night calls for a dark beer, and there's a reason for that. They tend to be more warming, and they tend to be more filling and heavy, and just generally fitting for winter. And it's a time of year where, you know, it's not long since gone Christmas, and there are kind of regal things going on. And I thought to myself, well, what better time of year to bring out this next beer, because it is regal by name. It is, how can I put it? Well, you've read the title of the video you viewed, right? So you know what it is. It's this one. It's Rebel King Imperial Stout from the Amundsen brewery in Norway. And it's an Imperial Stout that weighs in at 8.5% ABV. It's a 330ml can, and it says on the can, and I love the spiel that they put on the Amundsen cans. Legend speaks of a king so feared by his enemies that they would surrender immediately after he announces war against them. As a symbol of peace, they would order the brewers to brew the finest dark ale containing cacao, coffee and vanilla. And this was the only way they could persuade the Rebel King not to destroy their kingdoms. Sit back in your favourite chair, pour one and say cheers to the Rebel King. And this is the bit that fits. Rebel King pairs best with the dark days of winter. It's December the 28th. Deep dark winter. Makes sense to pour one, right? Anyway, so, what else? What does it contain? Anything in particular? Water. Understandable. Hops, malted barley and wheat, flake toast, lactose, coffee, cocoa nibs, vanilla aroma, so vanilla flavouring, and yeast. So, we have therefore in our mind an idea of what it's going to taste like. Chocolate coffee with a sweet vanilla finish, potentially. As I say, it's 8.5%. It's a 330ml can, and it suggests that the can contains 2.8 UK units. The artwork is funky, you know, as are all Amundsen cans. It's really cushy, and they've got that funky top where the whole top comes off. So we're going to be careful and pour. Makes a nice big pop. And we are going to put that safe over that there in that peanut bowl. Now this is where it could get messy, because the pour is going to be obvious. Whoop. Well, I was going to say, look at that. Huge head. It's quite gassy. Well, I say quite gassy, it's all down to pour, it's rapid, and I was going to hold on for the flavours, but I've tasted it, so we're going to go straight to the aroma quickly. Strong coffee, boozy, do not snort Imperial Stout, ladies and gents. It's not the recommended way of getting it into your body, anyway. Boozy, coffee, onto the proper tasting, not just getting the foam off the top. Yeah, that's got huge amounts of body. That is thick, and not as much coffee as I was expecting. Based on the aromas and the taste of the foam, I expected more, but there's more chocolate than there is coffee. Let's just let it mellow a little bit, see what it really fades to a quite creamy taste. There's, yeah, the vanilla is there, although I would say it's more creamy than it is vanilla. It's nice, it's very nice. Now, it's dangerously drinkable. I mean, there's no real trace of that 8.5%, and that makes it dangerously drinkable. don't want to waste that last drop. It's rather nice. It's, like I say, plenty of body to it, as you would expect from a stout. Huge flavours. Now, once the creaminess is gone, the coffee kind of lingers. Almost like a, I don't know, not quite the like when you've had coffee in amaretto, there's that sweetness that's left by the amaretto. There's none of the almond flavour going on here, but you know that kind of sweetness that's left. Really rather nice. I'm going to savour that one. I'm not going to drink it all ridiculously fast because it's pleasant and tasty. I want to enjoy that. So, very strong chocolate flavours, vanilla in the immediate finish, coffee right at the end in a big sweet way. Interesting, not the way I expected it to go, but more importantly, what do I think of it? Well, I drink more IPAs than I do dark beer. No particular reason. I like dark beer a lot. Would I buy this again? Of course I would. It'd be silly not to. When I buy a beer, it's a calculated purchase. It's very rare I go out and buy something that's just completely off the wall, not something I would normally drink. So chances are I'm going to end up with something I'm going to buy again. And yes, I would. How much more? Well, I mean, what did I pay for this? It was about somewhere between £5 and £6, which, given what you get, I think is not a bad price. So I'd buy it again. I would I give it more than a 4? Interesting, because I've had other coffee flavoured stouts, Imperial and otherwise, where there have been bigger hits of coffee, and that's what I really like about them. And I've given those about 4.5. This has got less of the coffee up front, but it lingers on the finish, and I think I prefer it up front because that's where, I mean, I'm a big coffee drinker. I drink more coffee than you can shake a stick at. Put it this way, when I die, they will be shocked to find blood in my coffee system. Put it that way. Now, if it had more coffee, I'd give it probably a 4.5. But as it stands, if the coffee was up front, yeah, it'd be a 4.5. But it sits in the finish, so I think I prefer more coffee than chocolate, and I'm getting more chocolate up front, so I'm going to go 4.25 on this one. Very nice, don't get me wrong, but like I said, I prefer the coffee hit up front as opposed to in the finish after the kind of creamy vanilla flavour that sort of precedes the coffee. I mean, it's nice, it's very nice, don't get me wrong. Would it kind of placate a Rebel King? Amundsen think it would. The legend that they've created suggests it might. Yeah, it's nice. And I dare say, after a handful of these, the Rebel King would definitely be placated, because it's not exactly weak, is it? 8.5%. Yeah, it's more of the bitter chocolate up front. A lot more of the bitter chocolate. So, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go and clean some camera lenses and sip this slowly, because it's one to savour. It's one to very much enjoy slowly in front of a nice warm radiator or fire, in a nice chair, feet up, you know, a couple of lenses and a carbon cleaning kit. I can see this evening going quite well. Ladies and gents, I've waffled enough about camera lenses and whatnot, so I'm going to leave it here. This has been the Amundsen Rebel King Imperial Stout. I've been Nick. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.